And here's the stuff we're mostly going to be using today. Hey y'all, APG Jamie here. And today we bring to you another hashtag Second Saturday Stash 7. Woohoo! These were the things that I picked. Okay, this is an open collaboration. Information will be in the description box below. Click on that famous phrase, show more to see more information. So let me see if I can pull up my list. For April, we had a stamp, store-bought or handmade, a stick from the yard, a ribbon, scrap paper or papers, a photo of yourself or draw yourself, a quote or a word, and the color green. Now you can choose any of those or all of those. Y'all know me, overachiever sometimes. All of them. Okay. So on the pictures, one is my husband took a photograph of me as I was taking a selfie. Because, yeah. And I went through some old pictures on my computer. These happen to be from way back. Well, they weren't the 1900s, but not that way back. It was one of our honeymoon trips to Hot Springs, Arkansas. We so enjoyed that, our time at the Pawqua. So anyway, that's the one picture I thought, well, I like that. I mean, the pictures you use of yourself, they do not have to be great. They can be blurry. They can be whatever. Okay? Oh, in the background there is cardstock. It's the previously printed monoprint page. I printed out my pictures first, and then I went and looked for back. I mean, well, it looks good with it. Well, everything looks good with me. Have fun, people. Have fun. Don't make it a chore. Any hoots. What I did is I pasted the pictures in a Word document. And within the Word program, app, whatever you want to call it, software, whatever, you can format different things on your picture that you put in there. Okay, and on one of them, I changed it so that it, I don't know, looked like a wet window or so. I don't know what it was, y'all. And then I printed out a second one, same just like the first, only with no changes to the picture, okay? And then the other two were just regular little, selfie face shots. So as you can see, I'm gluing down the one. I probably inked around it already and did some other inking because I was talking and not paying attention. I could have been reading my list because, Now this is some scrap paper that I was sent in Happy Mail, and I thought, well, that just looks serendipitously perfect. Serendipity is my word of the year. And may I say, it is reared up and showed itself off again. So, any hoots, we're just putting that around. I only have the one little piece of it, and I'm like, yeah, that's perfect. And then that green one with the stars on it, that also came in some Happy Mail. Y'all love Happy Mail. Anyways, my mailing address is in the description box below the video. I love y'all. Any hoots. We're going to do some inking around some of that stuff because it's important sometimes that you get to see me ink. I know some people like that, Susan. Anyways, that's what we're doing. I've went out and pulled a stick. I've got a bucket, it's like a 5-gallon bucket. And sometimes after a storm or the wind blows and junk like that, I pick up interesting sticks out of the yard. Which the day I did the list is I probably picked up sticks out of the yard. So anyway, I went to my bucket of sticks and I pulled one out and I thought, well, I like this one. It's got like some little mossy stuff on it. I don't know. It's dry, it's old. I did not heat it in the oven to remove any bugs, so I may now have bugs in the studio. It was old, it was dry. Anyways, that's the stick. And I when I was looking, at my treasure, I found a wad of threads, and I thought, well, let's just use them because those colors go in here. And this sweater I'm wearing now, just so you know, the sweater I'm wearing came from Ireland. It was handmade by a wonderful Irish knitter, and it is a sweater that I got in Ireland. Anyway, so it's got some sentimental values to it. Anywho, I don't know why I brought it up, just because I wanted to. Obviously, it was important to me. And I thought, well, my stick is too thick, because this flat page will eventually be bound into a journal of some sort. And I thought, well, my stick is too thick. It wasn't a really big thick. And I thought, well, let's just cut it in half. Don't worry. I did not cut myself or injured myself at all in this segment. In this entire episode. My stick did break, and I'm like, well, that's okay. We'll glue it over here. Won't nobody ever know. So don't tell anybody. And I thought, well, let's just put the little fibers right there, because they could have come out of the sweater. I mean, they didn't, but I guess they could have. They didn't. So we're just gonna put some little glues there, and the photograph of me, I did leave it as a pocket, because I can. So I did. And what are we doing now? I don't know. We're off screen. Oh, we're gluing the stick down. We're using Fabrifix because I thought that would be the best thing for the stick. I don't know. Could have wrapped fibers right there. It's just, this is an open collaboration. All right. You can interpret these suggested items to slash from your stash. All right. Openly. So I took and I cut myself out, the not blurry picture of me, and I cut myself out, and I'm going to glue it on top. So, you almost get this, I'm jumping out of the picture at you kind of thing, y'all. It is so hard to look at this and not laugh, because sometimes it's funny to have fun. Okay? I think it's great. And my husband, I was laughing while he was looking at it. Now, he wasn't laughing. He just thought it was wonderful, because he thinks I'm the mostest beautifulest person ever. So, so he wasn't laughing. And anyway, I don't know what that has to do with anything. So my initial intention was to make a faux postage stamp, because I said, to use a stamp. Either one you bought, or, store-bought, or you make your own. And I thought, well, I'm going to be unique and make a postage stamp, and that will be my stamp. You see what I did there? And then I forgot about that, and I'm like, well, we need to put some color green on here. I was going to use the paint, and then I thought, no, I'm not going to use paint. Let's put some embossing powder, because we need some embossing powder. It's been a while since we used the magical embossing powders. So that's what we're doing. And I grabbed that fancy script stamp to stamp out the embossing ink, so that we can use the embossing powder on the embossing ink. Embossing. And so on. So that's what we did. So I kind of used 2 stamps. And that's okay. Heat gun, y'all. So anyways, I'm really happy. I mix sometimes, not all the time, colors of my embossing powders, and I will keep them in a separate little jar once they're mixed. I don't, put them back because they're mixed. And so I actually had a little jar that had some other greens in it. I don't know what other greens. It was greenish, so, that's okay. Now the stamp did leave kind of a straight-ish edge, and I think on this one I try to knock off some of the powder so that it's not quite so straight and linear. I want it, kind of like it fades out into the background. Y'all, this background at first, most people would go, ugh. But I'm like, no, I love it. It's so grungy. It's got a lot of stuff going on. You know, there's some hidden patterns going on in there. So, anywho. So, we're hitting some more, y'all. And we're going along. Let's see. I don't think it necessarily worked that well trying to not have such a linear line mark there. Anyway, moving along. One of the items was a ribbon, and I pulled out. I have, I have a pile of treasure behind me of, stuff that's hickin' been used, and just little bits and bots, and behind me a pile of them, and that ribbon was in there, and I thought, well, we're going to use that, and y'all, I forgot about the ribbon. But I'll make up for it. You'll see. We'll eventually get there. It's very important that you see me doing all this embossing. Oh, did I mention this is an open collaboration hosted by Maria's Miscellany? That information is in the in the description box below the video, along with the list of ingredients and information on how to join the collab. It's an open collaboration. You may join or you don't have to join. Okay? You can join with photographs or a video. You can join with the hashtag. You can send your information to Maria's Miscellany, information below, and she will take care of that stuff for you. Also, there is a playlist, and that will be shown in the description box below. It's a collaborative playlist, meaning we added our links, our video links, to the playlist. And all you have to do, it's easy peasy. Go to the description box, click on the playlist. When the playlist pops up, select play all, and then you will automatically, YouTube will magically flow from one video in the collaboration to the next. And ta-da. Anyways, you do have to be invited by Maria to add to the collaborative playlist. So you can't just add to it. Anyway, description box below. Information. Other people. You. Why don't you play along? You don't want to make a video or do photographs? Do it on your own. Bust your stash, y'all. Slash your stash. I say that fast. I have to read it when I say it. Second Saturday, /7. And I must say, this was fun. I had no plans on where I was going. I was in the house. I'm like, well, it's the video I need to work on today. Where's my list of stuff? Okay, I need pictures of me. Well, it could just be one picture, or I could draw a picture. It didn't matter. And, it's open collaboration, kind of open themed, y'all. And I printed them out, and I go out to the studio, and I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? Initially, I thought I'd do a tag, and then I thought, no, let's do a journal page, because that's what we did last time. It's might as well do another journal page. So I looked through my backgrounds, and I'm like, well, that's perfect. Well, I've already explained all that, though, didn't I? Maybe not. So when I'm like, okay, now I need a phrase or a quote, and I opened up my little quote box, because y'all know I collect words. I'm a word collector. It's a poet that comes out in me all the time. And I opened it up, and I found this little piece that has been printed out so long that it's, got some wrinkles and folds and stuff in it. And as it turned out, it was mostly a perfect color. And I thought, well, that's the one right there. So we just took that whole little section out that had different words, and we just trimmed them out. And it was like, well, we're going to use all of them, because, I could use one, I could use all of them. I'm using all of them, because sometimes more is better. Sometimes it's not, but sometimes it is. So we're doing that, and those little hands, y'all have been looking for hand dies for a while. I happened to cross them. Now, it's a die that has 3 different size of handprints. It's both the left and the right hand, okay? So it's like, wow. And what they're used for is they're little slide closures, like you put them on a brad and, do little closures. It also had some heart-shaped and just some regular other oval looking things. I just got it for the hands, y'all. So cute. And I was very excited. I'm like, I get to use my hands. Because the hands are holding the works. And I just added them because I thought they were fun. And it's a fun page. And it made me laugh when I'm working on it. It makes me laugh to look at it now. Because there I am all being serious, taking a selfie in Hot Springs, Arkansas, outside the park wall. Oh, y'all. And my husband took a picture of me taking a selfie because, and it's just more fun. And I'm like, okay, well, where's my, I didn't eat at the, I didn't realize I had used a stamp, but I did. And because I still had it in my head that I'm making a faux postage stamp, and that's my stamp. So I thought, well, we'll just slide a stamp in and out, of the pocket that I am, because I'm just so handy. Handy. Oh my gosh, serendipity's falling all over the place. Anyways, so I die cut, just, didn't change anything on the picture. I just went and die cut it. And I thought the 2 pictures would stay together like 2 stamps, on a roll, but they didn't. They cut apart, and that's okay. So we are taking the green paper with the stars on it, and we're going to, slide that in and out of the pocket. And it had this little number that was on the side of a building, and I kept wanting to use it, but it just wasn't fitting. Just wasn't making me happy for whatever reason. I'm like, well, I like it, but it's just not working. So we set that aside. Actually, now it's going to be behind me in the pile of treasure. So I decided, well, we're just going to, because I want to emphasize this is the stamp from the list. My stamp of approval. And then I stamped my name on there because stamp. Y'all, I'm so special sometimes. I didn't realize I had already used the script stamp, and now I'm using my name stamp to make a faux postage stamp. Because in my head, that's the stamp from the list. See, you can, take it where you want to take it. Drop it off and leave it if you want to. As long as it's not hurting anybody, what's it matter? So there we go. My stamp of approval. I'm sorry, y'all. And at that time, on the back of my cellular mobile phone, I had a clear case, and I had made, my own little thing on the back of my case, and it just happens to say APG Jamie on the YouTubes, because that's what I had back then. This is an older photograph. I still look beautiful though. Anyway, I thought, well, we need to pull the red over to the other part of the paper because, it's good, continuity to. So I'm like, let's put some red diamonds on there. And besides, that's the color of my birthstone, is a garnet. It's red. It's nowhere near my birthday right now. Anyway, birthday bugs. Just because I brought up birthday. Anyway, so we're putting the diamonds on the little part where you would normally stick your brad. Okay, because I thought, well, it looks funny with that hole in it, but it's going to be perfect with the diamond. And this is where I realized I didn't use the ribbon, which would have been perfect underneath the stick. But, I'd already moved well past that. And I'm like, well, we're just going to slide the ribbon right in here. And it looks a little odd, just a little. But I think all in all, it works well enough. I put the ribbon in there. you don't have to use all 7 items, although it's more funner if you do. If you pull the stuff out and you throw it on your desk, and you're like, this is the stuff I'm using, and then you use it creatively, instinctively. Okay? So now I'm trying to slide that under the edge, because for some reason I wanted the numbers, but then the numbers just was not working well for me. I don't know why, it just wasn't. So there we go. There's our ribbon. Gluing it down some more, because it's a pocket, people. And now we're going to show you up close and more personal. Look at me, y'all. Oh, I wasn't posing, but it sure looks like I was posing. I was trying to get my inner selfie on. Stamp of approval. Oh, people. Have fun. Enjoy yourselves. Exercising's good for laughter. Photo montage. Don't forget to click on the playlist, select play all to see all the videos in this open collaboration. If you can't join in this time, hopefully you will next time. We appreciate each and every one of you. Your kind comments, your likes, your shares, and your subscriptions. Y'all. Thanks for watching, and happy art, y'all. Take more selfies.